Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to the Fighters Rep Podcast, episode 28. I'm your host, the Fighters Rep Fez, George, a.k.a., the promoter that you love, promoter of the year 2024, according to the Muay Thai Gala. Joined by none other than Ignorant Behavior, my man, Gary. Gary, I see you have the, I see you wore the wrong hat today. How are you doing, young man?
I'm doing okay. I had to wear this hat. I ain't cut my hair yet. I can't let everybody see my Stephen A. hairline going on here.
Golly.
It's too much. It's too much. So
You're
the hat comes on, and it gotta be this.
You're LeBroning under there, or what? Are you LeBroning under
there? Something like that. Something like that. I gotta cut it. I gotta cut all this. Too many grays.
Just when you think a person can't be more obnoxious, he's a 49ers fan. He's also from Miami. He's also a Florida State fan. I don't know what I did in my life. I mean, to be surrounded by 49ers. By the way, Hung's
you
favorite
went to Cali.
team,
You betrayed us. You went to Cali. So don't talk about me. I'm still in Miami. Hey. You went to Cali. You just came back.
By the way,
relax, buddy. Relax.
Just so you know, Hung, our matchmaker out in California, the owner of Hardworks Fitness, he's a diehard 49ers fan. So every time I see you, I'm just like, oh man, this guy and Hung, man, it'll work. And Bernard's a 49ers fan too, isn't he? Our buddy Bernard.
But y'all don't know, Bernard is our other childhood friend. That I played football with. And George used to hang out with him. But George is surrounded by 49ers.
I hate it. And anyway, today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Absolute madness, Gary, what went on there. And Omalley, Sugar Sean Omalley versus Chito Vera. Also a great fight. We don't typically talk about MMA, but this was a pretty high-profile fight. And we kind of like the way, O'Malley looked. He's been talking about boxing, and he's been kind of, picking and prodding at Tank Davis, which is probably not the right guy you want to go in there with if you're going to be boxing for the first time. And maybe this topic about Ngannou versus Joshua will prevent that. But, let's go ahead and get started, Gary. Saudi Arabia, it was a great card. It was called Knockout Chaos, and there was some real chaos in there. There was some real knockouts in there. First and foremost, shout out to Joseph Parker, man, a guy who's like really shown that you could lose and come back in a major way. Losing to Joe Joyce, getting stopped, and then coming back, beating Deontay Wilder, now rattling off another big win against Zhilei Zhang. Kind of tell me what you think about him, and then we could segue into the bigger fish, rather.
I will say this. I had to go back and kind of catch it because I missed it at first because I got the times mixed up. That's the thing about Saudi Arabia fights. It's kind of like I read somewhere where they're saying it's going to happen at this time and it happened earlier. So I kind of missed it, but then I went back and looked at it and watched it. I've seen he got dropped twice. But he pretty much won every other round. He pretty much was outboxing him. It reminds me kind of Tyson Fury when he first came back and he fought Deontay Wilder. While he beat Deontay Wilder he got knocked down twice, but he beat Deontay Wilder every other round. And I felt like Tyson Fury won that fight.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Parker. Like Parker got knocked down twice, but he just controlled everything. And I agree with a lot of what other people saying. Is like he seemed like he was out of shape. Like he wasn't the best version of that. So of himself, I'm sorry.
You're talking about John, right?
Yeah. Parker, he put on a display with Wilder, showed that he can really. I always thought he could really box, but it's always he would get caught like against Joe Joyce. He got caught. He was outboxing Joe Joyce.
He also went 12 rounds with Joshua. I mean, he lost that fight, but he went 12 rounds with Joshua, which is, in hindsight, is not that bad, bro. After what we saw on Friday,
it ain't that bad. Yeah. So he's showing he's still a viable option. He's
Yeah,
still a viable guy. Like he's in there.
he's
You
up
know.
there. He's up there.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm wondering because I felt like Zhang. They were talking about a couple different things for Zhang, right? They were talking about, I heard maybe Wilder. I heard, I heard a couple different things. Maybe he was going to fight the winner of one of the big fights. I almost feel like maybe this opportunity was kind of sprung up on Zhang, and maybe he wasn't physically ready. I'm thinking that's a possibility. I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but when Saudi Arabia knocks on the door with a
Yeah.
with a big fat bag, you know what I mean? Even if you're fat, you might say, "Hey, I'm fat right now. I'm gonna do this shit." And I'm wondering how he'll look if they have a rematch, if he gets another crack. And I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I have a feeling that because I kept hearing all these different things, and then all of a sudden they said, "Well, you're fighting Parker." Parker had just come off of beating Wilder and looking good, and probably had been in shape and was already in the camp. So, I don't know if maybe he had a little bit of an advantage there. You know what I mean? But who knows?
I get you. I mean, you want to big up your people. I get you. But
No, I'm not. Not at all. I just feel like my point is like I feel like Zhang. They probably surprised him with this opportunity because he didn't look like you said he didn't look in the best shape, and he's never been, the body beautiful. But
yeah.
I felt like he looked better than that the time before this, he looked better than that. When he
Well,
fought George.
a guy that big, it's easy just to like you say, from fight to fight to get out of control because those guys are so big. So just like Tyson Fury is, if he doesn't watch it constantly, he can get way overweight. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. But good on him. And then we had obviously the main event, Francis Ngannou versus AJ. Now, I don't think me and you. We thought AJ was going to win this fight, and
Hmm.
we thought most likely it was going to be stoppage. I thought there was a possibility of a decision just because Francis Ngannou's head is like a cinder block. I thought maybe he's got like some crazy chin, but man, I don't think. What surprised me is like how quick this thing ended. It's a surprise, but it's not really a surprise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I, I I had my homeboy at he comes and tells me he goes, you know, s- certain commentator said he thinks that AJ is gonna knock out Ngannou. He's like, I don't think that. I say it could happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I say AJ got them things.
Well,
AJ's not tight.
I think me and you favored that result. I mean, that's what me and you thought
Yeah,
was going to
yeah.
happen. We just thought maybe like 8th round, 9th round, 10th
I
round.
thought more like mid rounds, like
Okay.
around like the middle rounds. AJ will put him out. I didn't like. I'm like you. I didn't think first, second. I thought maybe like just because Ngannou showed that he's been working on his boxing, and even in this fight, I thought he looked better in this fight than the Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah.
But like far as his technique and everything, but it's levels, man. It's levels, and you can't think you. I from what I know, they say he has been training boxing like strictly boxing for like 4 years. But like it's like my cousin is a boxer and he turned pro. And one of my friends had started going to the gym boxing and everything and told my cousin, like, oh, my cousin laughed. He says, oh, you've been doing it for a year now.
Oh
I've
my
been doing it for a lot longer.
God. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just let you know. Like,
yeah.
I mean, a year. Oh my God. You've been training for a
You're a
year.
hobbyist, bro. At a year, you're a hobbyist still, bro. You need to chill out, bro.
It's like I've been training since I was in my teens, bro. And that's
Yeah,
late for boxing. He's like, I've been training since I was in my teens, bro.
yeah, yeah,
You sure you want to do this?
yeah, yeah. No, I just I thought it was going to be a late stoppage. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be 8th round or beyond. Um, but AJ went out there, and I got to credit I got to credit Ben Davison, his trainer, man. Ever since he's been he was never with him as far as I know, but ever since he went over to Ben Davison, these past couple performances, he's looked like the old AJ, the one that I thought was kind of the man for a while. Like, I think you remember, I used to think like, man, this guy's it. This guy's, is going to be tough to beat. I've always favored Fury. I've always thought Fury's a little bit better just because, you know how we get down. We love we like the technical. We think the technical guy's going to win. But, I always thought AJ was right there, up there. And he's looking like that guy again. And after the way Fury dealt with Ngannou and the way AJ destroyed, I mean, that's the word for it, bro. There's no way around it. He destroyed the guy. It was just domination. Just wiped him out. He
ran through him like coffee in the morning.
Right. He made him look like an MMA fighter, and he made him look like he didn't belong in there with a boxer. That's what he did. Fury made us question, can an MMA guy come over and, have some success? And, I think they can, but I think by and large, for the most part, you're going to get what you got on Friday night. It's like you said, Gary, levels, and you're going to get leveled. You're going to get leveled. You know what I mean?
I mean, even Dana White, when he was asked about it, he pretty much said, you know how I feel about the crossover fights. And he says they're gonna end most likely like that. Like, because Dana White understands, because Dana White was into the boxing scene at one point, and before he started UFC and everything, and he knows the difference. And I think most MMA fighters knows the difference. I think most MMA fighters after Ngannou hung with Tyson Fury, they were hopeful. They were like, "Oh, we got us one. We got us one." And then after last night, they're like, "Oh, we don't."
Yeah. And I almost feel like, at least for me, right, it's a pretty good, the silver lining for it, because I never like to see someone get knocked out like that, because that's a career changing knockout, Gary. I'm sorry. Like, that could he might go into his next fight and get tapped and go to sleep. I mean, that's one of those level knockout. It could potentially. I'm not saying that happened. I'm saying if he goes out in the next fight and gets knocked out in one punch, we know why, right? But the silver lining for me, the positive takeaway for me is, I look at the guys at Fighters Rep, right? And I did a post about this. I'm a kickboxing promoter. Our guys are kickboxers and sometimes Muay Thai fighters and MMA. They all kind of cross over. The lesson here is, get your boxing up, bro. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're an MMA fighter. I don't care if you're a Muay Thai fighter, especially, or a kickboxer, especially. You got to get those hands right, Gary, because that's the difference. That was the difference on display right there. I mean, it was a huge difference.
I mean, I remember listening to Joe Rogan talk about he was doing karate and he was a black belt and he was a badass in karate and all this. And then he went to go kickboxing and the dude puts hands on him. He said he didn't know what to do. The dude was putting hands on him. You know what I mean? So it's best to be all around because, hey, I mean, don't get me wrong, the kicks and the knees and elbows and all that are, I mean.
It's great, bro. But it takes, for me, you can throw 4 punches sometimes in the time you can throw a kick, and this is how the fight starts, man. I mean, you gotta get those hands real crisp and clean when you go into, especially in kickboxing. I feel like in kickboxing, especially, bro, the word boxing is in there. It's boxing. It's boxing with some kicks and knees. Even Muay Thai, it's like really Thai boxing is what it is. So I just feel like people need to work harder in our sports, in my sport, on the boxing, because we're big boxing heads. That's what we talk about on this channel besides our own fights. And it's apparent, man. It's apparent, and I think the good thing about fighters rep being out there in Southern California is there is a really great boxing culture there, and there's a decent one here in South Florida as well. And I think that's going to help. That's going to help our fighters. But I still want to see more work done on the boxing front.
I mean, it's hard just because you got to start. They have to start doing both, in my opinion, at a very young age. Because if you start trying to get better with your hands later on, like Usman Daniel Cormier, who was a wrestler, then he started trying to do his hands, and you got Tyron Woodley, who had a powerful punch, but he started getting into it late boxing because he was a wrestler. If you start doing these things later, it's going to be always hard for you to compete with somebody who is just doing that since they were like 5. Yeah. Like even like I just mentioned earlier, my cousin who's a boxer, he started in his teens and he was like, I'm already behind these guys.
Yeah.
These guys have been doing it since they've been like 5, 6 years old. And they just so much, even Deontay Wilder, and he specializes in boxing. It's still hard for him to get all the technique of boxing down. So when you eliminate all the other factors, and in the MMA, in mixed martial arts, even kickboxing, you literally have so much to do with that and worry about that, then adding the boxing. And it's just like they can't specialize in it. It's like going to a doctor and the doctor's like, yeah, I got to send you to a specialist. You're like, well, I got to go to a specialist. You're a doctor, right? You don't know? No, the specialist know more than me. I can tell you the general information, but I can't get in depth like the specialist can. And that's what it is.
I just feel like boxing is too important, man. It's too important for people to gloss over. Look at the gap. I mean, that was a serious. That was like, bro, that was like us versus the kids or some shit, bro. That's like you put your kid in the boxing, some boxing gloves on your kid, put him in the backyard and said, let's fight. I mean, that's 2 rounds, bro. He already had him down in the first round. I mean, it was ugly, bro. It was ugly. It was ugly.
Yeah. I mean, I would say like he what I was gonna say so real quick is that you could see even blocking the shots, he was sticking his hand out too far. That was leaving it exposed. Like if you see real like people been through the amateurs and everything, they kind of just
Joshua saw that and Joshua said, Here it comes, bro. Right down the middle. I was like, damn, bro. He knew that shit was going to land. Let's go. The honorary kiss of the evening. I love it, brother. We got to have one in every show. I got to get my wife here so I can get one too, man.
Yeah, but she I would say she but no,
you said the boxers are a bit more subtle with the defense.
Yeah, like even when I when I go work on the boxing or whatever a little bit just for fun, I'm not fighting nobody. I mean, I spar a little bit sometimes, nothing. I'm not trying to go pro or nothing. I remember going into the dudes like, well, they got guys your age that you can get in a real fight. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I just want to train. I just want to be able to fight a regular dude on the street and be able to beat him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't. What are you doing here, bro? I'm not doing that. Yeah. But my cousin, even even with my cousin or whatever, and things of that nature, he tells you like it's not like a lot of somebody throws a punch, you dip deep into it. It's like you want to make them slightly miss so you have an opportunity to counter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you don't want to overextend your arm because you leave yourself open. Yeah. When you block, you want to kind of like I remember seeing Jamal Charlo, or was it Jamal or Jamel? And they fight, and they kind of block it. Yeah. And then with that same hand he blocked, he came up and shot the uppercut.
Like a catch and shoot.
Yeah, it was quick as hell.
Yeah.
But it was because he didn't if you take your hand all the way out here to block and knock down an arm, how long does it take to rewind, cock back, and hit somebody? But if you just boom, boom, and hit them real quick,
And then
You know?
and then there are nuances, right? I mean, there's boxing for kickboxing, right? There's
Yeah,
boxing for Muay Thai style and
yeah,
for MMA because you got to think about the gloves being different. You got to think about different things. Is a shin gonna come flying in my face if I dip too hard? Whatever.
yeah,
So I hear you. I hear it. I hear all that. And I understand all that. And I don't expect kickboxers or MMA fighters to have the same level of boxing as boxers. They're
yeah,
specialized.
yeah,
But
yeah,
bro, this fight for me is a wake up call. Get your hands right. Go get a boxing coach. Get a boxing coach and have him understand your discipline and have him teach you what you need to learn. Because if you don't have boxing, if you're just relying on kicks and knees, and the dude in front of you is just he's nasty, he's just gonna touch you up. You're gonna get touched up, man. So
And the thing about using your hands is it's way quicker than the feet.
I agree.
The leg is down here. I can hit you before you kick me if I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you,
Well,
you
at
can
your
use your
age,
feet if you
well,
kick
at
in
your
lower.
age, well, at your age, maybe not, but I know what you mean.
I mean, if you kick in legs and things, yeah, you could do that quicker. But if you're trying to hit at the head, that the hands are gonna get to the head faster than a
For
leg
sure,
will.
for sure, for sure.
And especially if you're in close. If you're in close combat, the legs almost become nullified. Now knees and elbows come into play, but the legs, like straight kicks, you need a little bit of distance. You need a little bit of so you can kind of get that kick in. If you're in close, that's close combat. You're gonna need your hands.
Big time,
So
big
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. So I still think Francis Ngannou should still try to do it, still try to fight because
Yeah, yeah, no,
he
for sure.
improved a
I'm
lot,
not.
man. He improved a lot.
Yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. I'm just saying like this dude's been doing it a long time. Olympic gold
Yeah,
medalist. You need to you don't play boxing, bro. That's another thing we learned once again on Friday for the
any
millionth
any
time, bro.
any contact sport you don't play.
Yeah,
Any, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, Muay
yeah,
Thai, football. You
yeah,
can't play those games. It's the reason why football right now, the Pro Bowl is sucks so much because people aren't playing it for real. And
yeah.
it's like it's not the same sport if you don't play it for real. You know, our schoolmate Sean Taylor showed you he wasn't playing in the Pro Bowl.
May he
He came
rest.
down to hit somebody.
May he rest in peace. May he
Yeah,
rest in
yeah.
Sean Taylor, man. I saw him at LA Fitness once. It was cool.
He doesn't. Hey, I'm gonna tell you the story one time. Sean never turned that meter down. I seen him and another guy we played football with, Bubba. Boy, they were about to go at it. And this Sean's playing for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah,
Sean never turned that meter down. It was
I love it.
100%.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're talking since we're on the topic of boxing. I mean, obviously, we don't want Francis to give up. Shout out to him for getting in there and getting that money. I think he made 20 million. Good on him. And I heard AJ made 50 million. Jeez, man, I'm moving to Saudi Arabia as soon as possible. But good on him. I think he could still, maybe fight. I mean, maybe he needs to fight a guy that's like maybe more of a C-level heavyweight, see where he's at, really figure out where he's at, and then keep it going from there if he wants to continue. I just hope, that's why you don't make mismatches like this, right? That's typically why you don't see this because that was damage. I'm just hoping he's okay because that was, bro, the guy got folded up. And, the way he got folded up is the way he folded up Stipe Miocic. It was
Yeah.
the same knockout. It was crazy. It was like the same knockout. So anyway, we hope to see him. And we're talking about boxing, and before we continue on to the next topic, because this is relative to the next topic as well. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Join the channel to help us continue to build Fighters Rep. Tickets go on sale March 20th for Fighters Rep 23 and 24. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event. 23 is going to be in Pompano Beach. 24 is going to be at the beautiful Commerce Casino in Los Angeles. Don't miss it. Join the channel. Help us build. Get your merchandise. Help us build. Listen, Omalley versus Vera, man. That's the next topic. And I think there was also a difference here as far as boxing goes. I mean, this was a kickboxing match, right? These guys did not They did not go to the ground. They didn't bother going
Nope.
to the ground. They stood up and they gave you what Fighters Rep gives you, right? Which is two guys standing up and fighting, just like in our kickboxing rule set. Which is why I think this fight was so entertaining. But there seemed to be just like an advantage, just like a slightly higher class, if you will, for O'Malley. Man, I just thought he was a bit better. He was just a bit better. And Vera put up a hell of a fight and showed an incredible chin. Like you said, he ate a knee there that I think would have killed most human beings. But he was still in there. He was still fighting and even found some success in the fourth round, Gary.
I mean, this goes to your point now. Now, goes to your point. O'Malley, O'Malley, Sugar Show, his boxing is so on point.
Nice.
Like,
nice.
I told you this, George. I said, if anybody from MMA can go to boxing and stand a chance, it's him.
You did
His
say that.
boxing is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's in there, and it's hard because they're gonna kick your front leg, they're gonna do things, and he has other, like, his kicks and everything and elbows are nice too. But he stood in there, and it was just like you can see his clear mismatch of hands with Vera. And I told you, I thought he was gonna knock Vera out. To be honest with you, I'm gonna say that. Vera, I don't know what kind of fucking chin he got. I need that chin. They need to sell that chin. They need to make a model of that chin and just plug it in. I mean, they're doing fake booties now instead of fake breasts. I want the Vera chin. Can I get the Vera chin? Can we put that on my face?
A BCL, a Brazilian chin lift.
I need whatever he got. Because I mean, goddamn.
They take some meat from your ass and they put it right here.
I mean, goddamn, man. Hey, if he can take some punishment, man. I mean, he got a knee. He got some straight right hand straight down the pipe. I mean, straight down the pipe. And I know in Sean O'Malley's head, he has to be like, God damn, what I gotta hit this guy with? Get him down. He had, I think they said he had the most strikes at a bantamweight at ever. Like, he landed, and he couldn't get him out of there. And it's like, but his footwork, his footwork, his footwork, just his hand speed, his boxing, getting out the way. Defense, it's like he's seen everything coming. He was like, nope, not this, that. And I felt like he was going to win the first fight if he never, and me and you argue about this because I think it was fluky. You say no. I said he hit him and he messed his leg up one time, and it was like, what's the chances of him hitting? What's the chance of him doing that again? He was getting, like Sean O'Malley said, I was piecing him up before that.
Yeah. Well,
and he got lucky.
Obviously, I like Vera a lot. I work with Team Oyama. I work with his team, and Gator, Granado Fighters Rep champion, is one of his training partners. So I like Vera a lot. But
Gator, get that chin lift.
Say that again now.
I said, Gator, get that chin lift.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? What'd you call it? The
Brazilian chin lift, the BCL. Not that Gator needs it. We're just joking around here, but not that. I mean, I like Vera. I like Vera. But yeah, O'Malley just looked a class above, man. He just looked a class above. Like you said, his boxing, man. I mean, again, it's just, I don't know, man. Boxing is just really, if your boxing is real good, if you really work hard on your boxing, you're just a problem. You're just a problem for anyone, I think. It doesn't matter who, and unless it's a wrestler that's just going to take you down and sit on you,
Yeah. What you don't like.
Which I hate, which is why we do kickboxing, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but it's like, his boxing was so good, his kickboxing was so good, you were right. It's like he was seeing everything coming. His defense was so on point, and shout out to Vera, man. He did have a little bit of success here and there too. He's a great striker. But, man, did you see O'Malley just completely busted up after the fight. Like arm looked like it was in a cast, like leg was in a
Leg.
boot. It's like, dude, he took some real punishment too. You know what I mean?
And that was the craziest thing to me because throughout most of the fight until the fourth round, I didn't see him getting a lot of damage. But it was like I seen him, like how you said, with the arm and the leg, and I'm like, yo, and you can look at him talking. He was like, yo, I'm gonna go out tonight, but I ain't thinking about fighting nobody right now. I'm going home. I'm sore. And I was like, dude, for somebody to be that dominant and still take that level of punishment, pain, blocking shots, or whatever, I don't know. Or he got in the fourth round, he got hit sometimes, and then even at the end of the fifth, I was like, yo, they really don't like each other because you won in the fight, and at the end of the fifth, you're like, no, most people would say, I'm just gonna stay away, do this, do that. No, we're gonna slug it out to the fucking bell rings. And he got caught with a shot in his stomach, and I think that shit hurt him.
That's what I was gonna ask you about. And then he went to the cage and sat down like, fuck this, bro. I was like,
nah, he wanted to go all out, but he got caught. He was like, oh shit, that shit hurt.
Yeah. Damn, bro. He sat there for a while.
Yeah. Vera was up walking around. You would have thought he won the fight.
Right.
Sean O'Malley's in the cage, like, oh shit, that shit hurt.
It's absolutely wild, man. Absolutely
great fight. All the cards, Poirier fight, all of them. I know you don't like MVP like that. I like that fight too.
Yeah. He's okay. I just think it's the bouncing around with your hands down. I'm a little bit over that already. You know what I mean? I want to see some good striking. I felt like Holland's striking was not even in the same stratosphere as Michael Venom Page. He needed to take him down, and he just didn't do it enough. But
yeah.
Anyway, at least Michael Venom Page.
The Poirier fight was excellent.
Yeah. Well, Poirier's never in a boring fight, for better or worse. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man. I mean those were some great fights. I think everybody takes away a big lesson there. You don't play boxing at all, bro. Work on your boxing, and let's go on from there. Like I told you guys, tickets to Fighters Rep 23 and 24, 23 in Pompano Beach, 24 in Los Angeles. They go on sale March 20th. Gary, you're going to be in the house for this Fighters Rep 23 for sure. I can't wait to have you there. Tickets go on sale on fightersrep.com. And if you can't make it for whatever reason, whatever bullshit excuse you have, you could join the channel and watch the event live. Gary, is there anything you want to say before I let you go? We started late, so I didn't want to take too long on this one, brother.
No, that's good. I gotta go take a shower, put some Bengay on. I decided to go get some cardio on, not just lift weights. Decided to go to the basketball court, play some basketball, and try to get some cardio. And some little 14-year-old said, "You want to play 2-on-2 with me and my friend? We're like 40, and we just don't have the endurance." They beat us. I need you, George. Next time, I backed them down in the paint, but man, I got tired quick.
Oh man, no, I hear.
I need you, George. They were talking shit to me. These little fuckers be talking shit to you now.
Gary, you use it or lose it, brother. If you don't use it at this age, you lose it, baby. It's over. So
hey, they killed me.
Back in there. That's hilarious, man. But anyway, man, appreciate your time, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9. If we're a little bit late, we apologize. We're still going to get it across the line for you. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.
Yeah.